Hello, Mindsetters, and welcome to this great lesson ever. It's accounting, and it's my favorite. I'm not alone. I'm having Mehash. How are you, Mehash?
I'm well, AB. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm supercharged. It's accounting. I love
Oh,
accounting.
that's brilliant. Did you enjoy your public holiday?
I did. Yesterday, I had a good rest, but I was working at the same time.
Oh, okay.
But it was still cool.
That's
Yours?
brilliant. Yeah, mine was fantastic, and it's even more fantastic that tomorrow's Friday.
Nice. I was also looking forward, thinking that tomorrow it's another holiday. But James said, no, it was yesterday alone.
Okay.
But for now, what's on accounting today?
Okay, today, guys, we are going to be focusing on the balance sheet. So we're going back to financial statements,
Yes.
which we've already touched on in previous lessons. But today is the opportunity where we're going to focus on an exam-type question on the balance sheet.
Right, nice one. And I know this is just a build-up from what you've been learning from grade 10 too. So Mindsetters, hope you're up and ready. Go take your position and let's learn.
Okay, brilliant.
Right, Mindsetters, to learn with us today, it's quite simple. Make sure that you join me over Facebook. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/LearnExtra. You can also join us on Twitter. Follow us at LearnExtra. And lastly, make sure that you get today's notes on learnextra.co.za/live. From me, AB, see you in a short while. Mesh, take your time.
Okay, thanks, AB. Hi, guys. Welcome to another accounting lesson. Today, like I mentioned already, we're going to be focusing on the balance sheet, and we're going to look at an exam-type question on the balance sheet. Right, what are we specifically going to focus on, guys? We're going to focus on, let's get a pen out there. We're going to focus on some, there we go, we're going to focus on some year-end adjustments that relate specifically to your balance sheet. Right, guys, I'm not going to waste any time. I want to go straight to a question itself. We will touch on the format of the balance sheet as we're doing the question, so let's get started. Right, today's question is taken from November 2010. Question 4, company concepts will be tested. Financial statements, so this is where the balance sheet is going to come into play. And then something that we are not going to focus on, guys, is ratios and the audit report. Remember, we're only focusing on that balance sheet. Right, the information that we've got. The information below was extracted from the financial records of Monjaji Limited, and we are required to do the following. Right, we've got question A, which is match column A with column B. But guys, I don't want to look at question A just yet. I want to look at the other question, in other words, the balance sheet itself. We will come back to question A. So let's find the next question. Right, there we go. The next question, we're now going to prepare, or we're going to focus on preparing the appropriation account in the general ledger of the business, and this is for 9 marks. So very, very important, that appropriation account. And thereafter, we're going to look at preparing the balance sheet on the 28th of Feb 2010. So that's our financial year end, and we're going to be doing or completing the balance sheet. In brackets, they are reminding us all workings must be shown in brackets. The notes are not required. So remember, guys, if you want to earn part marks, you've got to show your calculations, you're working out in brackets. Right. So that's what we're going to do in today's lesson. Guys, let's not waste any time. Let's get started now. Let's look at the information that is given to us. So the information, let's just get that out. Right, our information. The following balances, totals, get the pen out there. The following balances and totals appeared in the general ledger on the 28th of Feb 2010, in other words, at the end of the financial year. So we are given a list of balances as per our general ledger. Now, guys, please remember, this is going to be our starting point for that balance sheet. In other words, we're going to now start with these balances and we're going to slot them into our balance sheet. Absolutely important that you remember your format in order for you to slot these amounts in the correct place in the balance sheet. Right, the very first item, guys, that we've got, ordinary share capital, an amount of 1,750,000. So let's take that total through to our balance sheet. Okay, so in our balance sheet, remember guys, your balance sheet is simply A is equal to O plus L. Ordinary share capital is O, owner's equity. So this is going to fall under equity and liability section. Okay, there we go. There's our equity and liability. Ordinary shareholders' equity, and we're looking for ordinary share capital, which I've already filled in for you guys. Open brackets, we're bringing down that amount of 1,750,000. Okay, in brackets, because I may have to adjust this figure depending on the information or the additional information that the question could give me. Right, let's go back. Next bit of info, I've got share premium, guys, an amount of 50,000. And again, share premium is owner's equity. So in the balance sheet, we're going to slot in the 50,000 share premium. So back to the balance sheet. Oh, there we go. Where's that balance sheet? There we go. Share premium, let's get the pen out, in brackets, an amount of 50,000. Okay, right, back to the general ledger balances. Next item, retained income, and this is on the 1st of March 2009. In other words, it is my retained income at the beginning of the year. Now remember guys, in this question we've also got to do an appropriation account, which means retained income at the beginning of the year is part of that T account, that general ledger account. So I don't want to waste time. We're looking at opening balances. Let's not come back to that 26,000. Let's take that now through to the appropriation account. So appropriation account. Okay, there we go. There's our appropriation. Very quickly, I just want to remind you about the format of appropriation. Owner's equity. On the credit side, I've already got profit and loss, 344,000 filled in for me. And now I'm transferring my retained income. Okay, retained income, and remember guys, this is at the beginning of the year, and that retained income was an amount of 26,000. We'll just double check that figure in a moment, but for now, let's just fill in the retained income, 26,000. Right, yeah, it was 26,000. Okay, let's move on. The next item, we've got long-term loan, sitting at 200 and, let's get the pen out there, 235,200. And again, long-term loan format, absolutely important. Absolutely correct. It is a liability, which means it's going to go under non-current liability. It's a long-term loan. So in my balance sheet, I'm looking for non-current liability. Okay, let's just find that. Okay, there we go, non-current liability. Very important that I mention the name of the bank. Okay, so it's Oka Bank or Oka Lenders, according to the question. Oka Lenders. And in brackets, that loan amount, guys, was 235,200. Okay, right, next item. Okay, fixed assets at carrying value. Okay, let's just make a little point there, so we know exactly where we're at. Fixed assets at carrying value again. 1st of March 2009, beginning of the year, which means I've still got to take into account depreciation for the current year, but at the moment, that balance, 2 million, there we go, 2,106,500. So again, let's slot that into our balance sheet. And remember, fixed assets, guys, is your non-current asset. Under tangible assets, in brackets, that amount of 2,106,500. Okay, right, next item. We're now moving on to trading stock. So our trading stock, 61,200, and trading stock, guys, is an asset. But remember, it is a current asset, so this is going to fall under inventory. So in that balance sheet, current asset, inventory, open brackets, and your trading stock amount, 61,200. Okay, right, let's move on. Next item, debtors control. So there's my debtors control sitting at 52,000. And again, guys, format, absolutely important. Debtors control will fall under trade and other receivable. So let's go to trade and other receivable, current assets, trade and other receivable, and my debtors are sitting at 52,000. Okay, let's just fix that. 52,000. Right, next item, guys, is provision for bad debts. And they're giving me provision for bad debts on the 1st of March 2009, which immediately means they're giving me the old provision for bad debts. So for now, okay, brilliant.
Right, mindset is to learn with us today. It's quite simple. Make sure that you join me over Facebook. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/LearnExtra. You can also join us on Twitter. Follow us at LearnExtra. And lastly, make sure that you get today's Hello, Mindsetters, and welcome to this great lesson ever. It's accounting, and it's my favorite. I'm not alone. I'm having Mehash. How are you, Mehash?
I'm well, AB. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm supercharged. It's accounting. I love accounting.
Oh, that's brilliant. Did you enjoy your public holiday?
I did. Yesterday, I had a good rest, but I was working at the same time.
Oh, okay.
But it was still cool.
That
Yours?
full statement,
Yes.
which we've already touched on in previous lessons, but today is the opportunity where we're going to focus on an exam-type question on the balance sheet.
Right. Nice one. And I know this is just a build-up from what you've been learning from grade 10 too. So Mindsetters, hope you're up and ready. Go take your position and let's learn.
That's brilliant. Yeah, mine was fantastic, and it's even more fantastic that tomorrow's Friday.
Nice. I was also looking forward, thinking that tomorrow it's another holiday. But James said, no, it was yesterday alone.
Okay.
But for now, what's on accounting today?
Okay, today, guys, we are going to be focusing on the balance sheet. So we're going back to financial